were taken back, I could then see. And I stood in front of this massive, massive doorway, doorways, I should say, of like a palace sort of thing, but down, it was all dark down there, and I started to feel really cold. And there was two great big things, which I now know to be demons, but I didn't know what they were at the time. They were sort of hunched back, and they had these great big swords like this, protecting the doors. Two of them were protecting the doors. And it was like I was expected. It was like the doors opened as I arrived, and this guy called Mark, he was pushing me forward and forward and forward. And I was going, look, well, where are we? What are you here to show me? Why am I here? And he was carrying behind me, and I was like, well, what's going on? Why aren't you coming with me?
He was scared.
He was scared, and I was like, then I was picking up on his scare.
Yeah.
You know, what are these things here? These things are big.
Yes.
They were about 8 times bigger than me. You know, they were big with swords, and they were pushing me forward, and I was trying to look down the end of this room, and it was a dark room, but a big, like a big wooden, massive room, but big.
And what did you see?
I saw 3 things at the end, and I couldn't quite see, and I was trying to search in the darkness, and I felt this immense coldness, and it was very, very cold, and I got pushed further and further and further down, and as I got nearer, I could see this main figure. He had a black cloak on and a black hood up to here, black cloak completely, quite tall. He was about this big, taller than me, a lot taller than me, quite thin, and I couldn't see all of him because he had this black cloak on. All I could see was his eyes, and there were red eyes staring, looking directly at me, and I got pushed to literally as far as here, so I could face to face. I was like this, and he was looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I was frightened, because all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, this is Satan, and I knew it was Satan without any doubt, and there was 2 things behind him, which again were another 2 demons, which I didn't know at the time what they were. I was frightened. I've never been so frightened in all my life. And he started to speak to me in my mind. He just said to me, Michelle, he called me by name, and he said, I've been waiting for this time. He said, I have called you. You've been saved for this time. And he said, then he took me back, like I saw a picture of me, like a video player being replayed backwards. And I saw a picture of me in hospital in bed as a sick 2-year-old with my parents around me crying. I could see it. And I'm looking down on the picture with Satan. And he's saying, I saved you from this. I saved you from this.
Such a liar.
He said, so that you may serve me now. And then he said, I want you to become a queen sorcerer, the Queen of England sorcerer. I want you to be my top sorcerer and serve me in this nation as a sorcerer. And you will serve me and do assignments for me now. I will give you everything, he said, riches, jewels, everything. And I am shivering, I'm cold, I am frightened. At the same time, now this part is really important in my life. At this time, in my left ear, I could hear the voices coming in of my 2 friends. My 2 friends were Christians. And one was my old landlady. And she said to me, Michelle, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. What you're involved in is wrong, Michelle. Witchcraft is wrong. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. She said, and I used to mock her. And I used to say, don't be so stupid. Jesus isn't real. There's no such thing as Jesus. He's just a story in a Bible. And then I used to say to her, don't be silly, Satan isn't real. Or you serve Satan. I said, Satan isn't real, don't be stupid.
So now you see Satan face to face with Satan. Then it means that Jesus is real.
I'm like looking at it, and then my other friend, I could hear my other friend's voice coming in. My friend's mum used to be a Christian. Kirsty is her mum, and she's now passed away, but she's just said, Michelle, what you're involved in is wrong. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is real, not